Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Something I've known about for quite a while, but haven't really highlighted. And I'm going to highlight it because I think it's important, and I think it's important that all people across London, whether you're a tube driver, cleaner on the network, bus driver, or anyone in that industry that works for TfL, ticket staff, etc., it's important that they know this. So, COVID-19 came along, right? And we had 3 lockdowns, X amount of people died, loads of us got ill, right? It did take a long time for TfL to figure out what to do. In my opinion, it took far too long. And I think a lot of it was down to disorganisation and confusion, and too many chiefs. You got all these different operators, different branches here, different branches there. Nobody could decide what to do. Especially in the private sector, which is the bus sector. And I think we can highlight that. It's easily seen if you compare everything that was directly under TfL, all the measures that needed to be done came in rapido. Everything that wasn't directly under TfL was confusion, and it was one thing at this place, one operator was doing this, one operator was doing that, one operator was doing that. They were all doing different things. They've all got it down now, and they've got the cab sealed and blah 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 as best as they can. Well, I'd like to highlight they're obviously not airtight. But you've got the chief safety officer for TfL, right? She, at the time, had no qualifications as to do with what her job is, safety. So it's a bit like me going out there with no driving licence, no qualification to drive a vehicle of a bus and driving a bus, or a tube driver driving a tube train without the qualifications, and just sort of I'll grab the qualifications as I go. And from what I can see at the moment, looking at the information I've been handed today, they still haven't got the qualifications. They're still learning the qualifications. So that's a real concern for me. That's a real concern for me, that the person in charge of safety across TfL and the networks hasn't got the qualifications. Would you get on a bus knowing that the driver's not qualified to drive the vehicle? I don't think you would. You wouldn't be impressed. Would you get on a train knowing that the train driver ain't qualified to drive the train? No, I don't think you would either. But everyone uses the transport network across London, and the person in charge of safety and health and safety isn't qualified. That's something to think about. That's food for thought. And I think that on its own highlights the need for an independent inquiry into the number of drivers and TfL staff that died in the pandemic. That in itself highlights the need for that, and it should be an independent investigation aimed directly at TfL and TfL's actions, and how quickly they responded, how well they responded. Were the relevant people in charge qualified? Well, we know the answer to that already. Were the relevant people in charge doing everything they could possibly do? I think we know the answer to that too. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just thought you'd like to know that. I have attached to this video a copy of some information which highlights that the person in charge of health and safety for TfL still isn't qualified. It's good, that, isn't it? Eh?